Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Today we are going to study Bhavana Pahadabha Asava. So Katameja Bhikkhu Asava Bhavana Pahadabha. Bhavana we translate develop. By developing, the which asavas should be abandoned. Ida Bhikkhu Bhikkhu Prisankha Yoniso Sti Sambuchengam Bhaviti. He develops, so we start with the first sentence. Sri Sambhujangam Bhaviti. Bhaviti is the verb, object is Sri Sambhujangam. The Sri Sambhujangam Bhaviti, he develops mindfulness enlightenment factor. Later I will explain what is Bhujanga. So we wake up Nesita. Nesita usually we translate depends on. Depends on seclusion we wake up. So we raga dispassion. Nesita depends on. The dependent on. But the Bhikkhu body translated supported by. So Tanha Nesita, Deity Nesita. We will see Nesita also many times used in the text. The Sri Sambhujangam Bhaviti, Viveka Nesita, Viraga Nesita. Viveka is seclusion. Viraga is a dispassion. So Viraga Nesita. Nirodha everyone knows. Cessation. Nirodha Nesita. So Vausaka Priname. Priname, secondarily we can translate ripen. Ripen in relinquishment. So ripen in relinquishment. So this Viveka Nesita, Viraga Nesita, Nirodha Nesita, so modifier to the Sti Sambhujanga. So reflecting wisely, O monks, the monk develops mindfulness enlightenment factor, which depends on seclusion, which depends on dispassion, which depends on cessation, which depends on ripen and relinquishment. So, which ripens relinquishment. The Prisankha so Dhamma Vijaya Sambhujanga. Dhamma Vijaya, mainly it means wisdom, panya. So Dhamma Vijaya also directly translate investigation of the state. The investigation of the Dhamma. The meaning Vijaya is investigation of Dhamma. Enlightenment factor, Bhujanga. Uriya Sambhujanga, energy, enlightenment factor. Piti Sambhujangam, Pasari Sambhujangam, Piti rapture, Pasati tranquility, Samadhi concentration. So Ubekha equanimity, enlightenment factor. Bhavedi Uvega Nesita, Viraga Nesita, Niroda Nesita, Vausaka Priname. I wanted to read that paragraph. Yenjesa Bakerway. So how many bhujangas? 7. Samadhi, Ubekha, the state Sambhojanga. Dhamma Sambhojanga, Viriya Sambhojanga, Piti Sambhojanga, Passaddhi Sambhojanga, Samadhi Sambhojanga, Ubekha Sambhojanga. So Bhojanga is very important because of the Bhojangas. So one taste in the Bhuva Bhaga Vipassana also. So we call the Logiya Bhojangas. There are 2 kinds of the Bhojangas, Logiya and Lokuttara. So Bhojanga also one of the very important because it is a part of the Bodhipakkhiyas. So 37 Bodhipakkhya Dhammas. In the 37 Bodhipakkhya Dhammas, this Bhojanga 7 included. So Bhojanga also, when you study the 11 Paritas, there is one Parita which is called Bhojanga Suttas. This Bhojanga Suttas also believed. So at the sense of the Buddha's time, whoever is sick, whoever is ill, by listening to the Bhojanga Suttas, they recover from the illness or sickness. They are fine because of Bhojanga, listening to the Bhojanga Suttas. So Bhojanga Suttas also, even the Buddha sometimes they asked, so one of his disciples to recite, to expound the Bhojanga Suttas. So he listened to that Bhojanga Sutta, then he also recovered. So this Bhojanga Sutta is very famous in Myanmar. When someone is ill or sick, they invite the monks, so make the monks to recite Bhujanga Sutta for the patience. This Bhujanga Sutta, actually, this is a very important practice. That you have to develop this Bhujanga. So by developing Bhujangas, we will attain the Mega Jnana and Phala Jnana. So when the Mega Jnana arises also, Bhujanga automatically includes. So as I told you, Bhujanga is two kinds. Logiya, inside practice, inside meditation, when someone attains Vipassana Jnana, at the time also Bhujangas is developed. When someone developed, when someone attains so they realize the Nibbana, at the time Mega Jnana arises. Together with the Mega Jnana, the Bhujanga also rises. So Bhujanga is, like a very the essential factor for practice and meditation. So according to the Bhujangas, when we want to give up, sometimes we are depressed, sometimes looks like we don't have any hope. At that time, this Bhujangas is a remedy or the kind of medicine to give us energy, because it can give the energy to the yogis. Bhujanga, always the Buddha in the Bhujanga Sayadaw also encourage his disciples to develop Bhujangas. So the first one, what is Bhujanga? We start with the Bhujanga. So Bhujanga is combination of the body and anger. Each change into the ya, daya becomes JJH, Bhujanga. So body has two meanings. The second meaning is Riya Savaka. The first meaning is Dhamma Samagi. So what is Dhamma Samagi? Dhamma Samagi is a unity of the Dhammas. The unity of the Dhammas is called Dhamma Samagi. So what kind of the Dhammas are united? The Dhammas is here Sati, Panya, Viriya, Piti, Pasati, Ekagata, Ubekha. These Dhammas are united together. So what happened? These Dhammas are united by uniting, by the unity of those Dhammas. The yogi can dispel Sasta Deiti, Ochita Deiti. He can dispel Adagila Matanu Yoga, Kama Sukha Yoga. So many agusala, many dangers can be removed by the unity of this Dhammas, Dhamma Samagi. This Dhamma Samagi is also called body. The body, generally in English we translate enlightenment, But here, body means Dhamma Samagi, unity of the Dhammas. So what is anger? Anger is a factor. So like, so we have Jnanengas, Meggenga, Jnanenga, Meggenga. What is Jnanengas? Vidyaga, Vijara, Piti, Sukha, Ekagata. Well, what is Meggengas? Mega and Meggengas. So anger means factor. So what is factor of the mega? Samadhi, Samasangama, Samawaja, Samagamana, Samajiva, Samavayama, Samasati, Samadhi. These are factors of the Magga. So like that, so the factors of the jhana is Vitaka, Vijara, Piti, Sukha, Ekagata. Similarly, what is the factor of the body? So what is the factor of the unity of the Dhammas? They are Sati, Dhamma Vijaya, Viriya, Piti, Pasadi, Samadhi, Ubeka. So they are called Bhujangas. Sati, Dhamma Vijaya and so on are called Bhujanga because they are the factor of the body. So what is the body? Unity of the Dhammas. The unity of the Dhammas in Pali, it is the Dhammasamaggi. So what is the Dhammasamaggi means? Body. This body, the part of this body, the factors of the body, the constituents of the body is called Bhujanga. The Bhujangas are 7. Now the next one, so it is body is also called Ariya Savaka. Because Ariya Savakas or Ariya persons, they wake up from the sleep of the kilesa. So body, he wake up from the sleep of the kilesa. We have the kilesas, we are tormented by the kilesas, that means that we are sleeping now. Even though you are wake up. As long as you don't attain the mega jnana, phala jnana, you are still sleeping. So this body makes us to wake up from the sleep of the kilesas. So because of this Dhammasamaggi, Ariya person wakes up from the sleep of the kilesa, defilements. So that Ariya person is also called body. So this important factor, the constituents of this body or Ariya person are Sati, Dhamma Vijaya, Viriya, Piti, Pasadi, Samadhi, Ubekha. So body ya ingam, Bhujanga. Body is a ingo, Bhujingo, for example. Body is a ingo, Bhujingo. Okay, this is the meaning of the Bhujangas. This Bhujanga also the word together with the prefix sam Bhujanga. Sam Bhujanga. Sam here means praiseworthy. Sam means praiseworthy, Bhujanga, Sam Bhujanga. This Sam Bhujanga also, when you are practicing inside meditation, this Bhujanga will be, you can attain this Bhujangas. The Bhujanga will be automatically fulfilled. Like when you are paying attention to Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, Lakkhana, the of the Nama Dhamma, Rupa Dhammas. Because at the moment you have already seen rising and disappearing of Maya and matter. When you are seeing those Dhammas, those characteristics of the Nama and Rupa Dhamma, at that time you have Dhamma Vijaya Sambhujanga, Panya. So you are paying attention to, you are mindful of those rising, the Udiyabhaya of those Nama and Rupa, rising and disappearing of the Nama and Rupa, you are paying attention to. That is Sati. So Viriya Sambhujanga, Samadhi Sambhujanga, because Viriya is like a Samavayama, always make us to have effort. So Viriya, if there is no Viriya, we cannot attain anything. Because of Viriya, we have Samadhi. Together with the Samadhi, with the samadhi, we have the piti passaddhi also automatically we have. So Upekha Sambojjhanga also we can directly attain by developing, comprehending, rising, despairing of those nama and rupa dhammas. Later we can, the understand the full explanation of those, the 7 bojjhangas when we are developing inside meditation, when we are getting some vipassana jnanas. Okay, now here what we start with, how to develop Sati Sambojjhanga, how to develop Dhamma Vijaya Sambojjhanga. So when you are attaining some vipassana jnanas, when is the yogi attains vipassana jnanas, those bojjhangas has been developed. But here in the commentaries, it is pointed out that those bojjhangas can be developed. The commentators shows some technique, methods. So we are going to study those technique or methods, how to develop in ourselves those bojjhangas. These are, the 4 causes, the 4 dhammas to develop a sati sambojjhanga or mindfulness, sati. So sati is very important. Without mindfulness, we cannot get any vipassana jnanas. We cannot get any mega jnana and phala jnana. These the four causes also explained according to the Bhujanga Samyutta commentary. That you can see in the Ahara Sutta commentary, we can see such a methods indicated by the commentator. So the four reasons or the four causes to develop our sati. Nowadays we are very forgetful. Because there are many distractions. The first one is sati sambhajanya. If you want to sharpen your mindfulness, you have to develop the sati sambhajanya. So what is sati sambhajanya is, like in the Mahasriparana Sutta, you can see the sati in sambhajanya. What is sati? Mindfulness. Sambhajanya is comprehension. Sambhajanya is comprehension. So how it is? For example, abhikkhanda, going forward, going back, move forward, moving backward, sleeping, lying down, in many idiopathas. We put the mindfulness on those actions. It is a sati samjanya. So like even for the monks also, the gata bija gata vada, gata. He went to the village for alms. It is a gata. Bija gata. When he come back from the village where he goes for alms, when he comes back from that place, at that time, he observes every his movement with the mindfulness. It is a gata. Gata derived from the gam, the root is gam. Gata bija gata. Uda. So gata bija gata uda also, because of this gata bija gata uda, many monks in that time attain the hardship. So when you go for alms, at that time every step you and they are aware of. When you come back, when you are eating, such a developing mindfulness, comprehension is main cause to develop our sati sambhajanya. Now the next one is Mutta Sati Pogala Privijanata. Mutta Sati, forgetful. Pogala is person. So Mutta Sati Pogala means the forgetful one. Some people are very forgetful. Their sati is not good. So you have to avoid such a person who is forgetful. You have to avoid the persons, the people who are forgetful. Mutta sati pogala privijanata. Upattita sati pogala sevanata. According to the commentary, there are some theras indicated, Tesa Dada Thera, Abhaya Thera. Some theras, like Venerable Ananda, his mindfulness is very strong. So one of his Idadegas, one of them is Stimanta. Stimanta Idadega. His sati is so powerful. It is after the Buddha, the Buddha's sati is in the world, it is the most superior. So Ananda's sati is, like a little, the inferior than maybe second or maybe third place in comparison with the other Arhandas. Maybe second or third or fourth place, his sati is very, because of this, in the first council, he can recite every word he learned or he heard from the Buddha. Like because of this, every sutta began with the Ewami Sutta. So Ewami Sutta, who said? Venerable Ananda said. Every word within so many years, he remembered all of the words. Some words also, before he became the Buddha's attendant, the Buddha also expounded like a Dhammajjhaka Bodhana Sutta also. So those suttas also he remembered. Even though he cannot directly hear those suttas from the Buddha himself, but he learns from another person. Maybe the Buddha expounded again to him. So we can say within 45 years, whatever the Buddha expounded, he remembers. So this is amazing. So in the Sanghayanas, the monks, especially the main persons are Venerable Sariputta and the Venerable Ananda and the Upali. So Venerable Ananda recite the suttas. So at that time, the other Arhantas also, they heard the suttas from the Buddha. So for example, Mangala Sutta, Ewami Sutta, Egan Samaya, Bhagavasa Viti and Waradi, Adam, generally Asivanaja, Balan and Panita Ninja Sivana, for example. The Venerable Ananda recited the suttas. The other Theras also heard the sutta from the Buddha. They also heard the same way like Venerable Ananda heard. The other Theras also, they also recite again, okay, the sutta we heard is the same as you heard from the Buddha. So such a incredible knowledge, incredible sati he has. Nowadays, the people are more and more distracted because of media, because of the technologies. The technology makes our life easier. So in this way, we don't need to remember many things. So the phone numbers, we ask the smartphone to remember for us. When the phone is lost, we don't remember anything. So we don't want to remember, we ask the devices to remember to work for us. Because of technology, life is easier. At the same time, we are more and more less dependent on ourselves. So if you have lost, some people also, they travel by the help of the GPS. The GPS also installed on the smartphone. When the smartphone is lost, he cannot go. In one of the movies, I have heard, the read that this is about the one person. Wherever he goes with the GPS with the smartphone. So from his house to the school, from his store to his office. One day his smartphone is lost. He doesn't know how to go out from his house. So this is too much dependent on those devices. In this way, our sati mindfulness becomes weaker and weaker. So the third is Upatita Sati Pogala Sevanata. Sevana means following. Sevati, follow or maybe emulate the persons who has strong mindfulness. Upatita Sati. Upatita means, basically speaking, strong mindfulness. Upatita Sati. Who has, endowed with the Sati. Upatita Sati. The person who is endowed with the Sati, we follow such a person. So if you, make friends. So one of, the important thing is that your friends should be not forgetful. Your friends should be mindful. The state of your friends should be good. Otherwise, later you will be also forgetful. Tada adimodata, tam adimodata. Adimodata or adimoti. So inclination. Tam adhimotata. Inclination means always we should have inclination to have a good sati. I will not use the mindfulness, we will use directly sati. Always we should have inclination, we should be inclined to have a good sati. Like I want to be a person who has a good sati. If I have a good sati like a Venerable Ananda, for example, maybe the ones around your life, around us also, we have seen some persons who has a good sati. Like among your family also, some of people are very good sati. Maybe you remember them. Oh, so my brother or my sister or maybe my friend or whoever, he is very good sati. If I have such a sati like him, that will be good. So, mindfulness or sati is extremely important for practicing the meditation. Not only for the vipassana meditation, for the insight meditation also. Very important. So, it is very important to know how to develop sati sambojjhanga. So, this is the method is, as you see, we practice sati sambojjhanga. Like the pointed out by the Mahasriprana Suttas. The second important thing is we avoid the persons who are forgetful. Then the third is we should associate with the ones who is endowed with the sati. Some people I have seen, like maybe 8 or 10 years ago, I have seen one person. He is a layman, 93. His age is 93. He remembers everything for his schedules, everyday work. Since that time, he is still working. He works at the time, in one of the monasteries as a chairperson. He managed every drivers, every cooks in the kitchen, every like a menus. So not only that, he also managed with the money or funds. Whenever you ask him how much money is still left of the monastery, for example, he directly can tell you. Amazing memory. So in our village also 2 years ago, one Sayadaw passed away when he was 102 years old. He was. Sayadaw's name is Venerable Uttara. 100 years, 102 years, not 110, 102 years. So just before he passed away, 1 year before, I had a chance to pay homage to him. I asked the Sayadaw, where did you live for your study when you were young? Like, when he was 18 years old and 20 years old. At that time, he told me, everything. He studied in the Bakoku, So at that time, he had a great opportunity to see some very, educated Sayadaws, the Sayadaws of the high education in the Tipitaka. At that time, many Sayadaws who participated in the Chata Sanghayana, the Sayadaws were teaching there at the time. He still remember every suttas, whatever he had learned. When he gave Dhamma talk, his Dhamma talk is we have never seen any sign of the forgetfulness. Some people, when they are getting older, maybe around 70 or 75, at that time, our memory started to ruin. So we lose many things. We forget many things at the time. That Sayadaw was very remarkable. 102 years old at the time. He remembers everything. He can walk, he can eat. He doesn't need help to walk, to go down, to go up. It is like the person who is 60 years old. But because of COVID, I think Sayadaw passed away. So at the time, he was 102 years old. So such a person, when we see them, this is inspiring. Or if we have, the sati, a good sati, like such a person, this is a tata dimodata, you see. A dimodi also very important. If you admire the persons who are forgetful because they are very busy, we are forgetful because we are very busy. If you admire, if you like them, I think your sati also will be less and less. That you will be forgetful some years later. So we should not be proud of forgetting. We should be proud of remembering. We should be proud of having state of mindfulness. Because this state also can be developed according to the commentary method, according to the Buddha's teaching. Even though maybe because of some, like a physical, weakness situations, because some people, they have cancers or something like this. For those persons, we cannot tell they can develop sati, fully, but the normal persons, some people, they are taking some very, serious medicines, that they are very strong under medications. So for those persons, it is difficult to develop sati to the normal, the normal condition. But for the ordinary one, for the normal people who has a good health, so for us, I think we can develop sati. So how useful to develop the sati? It is immeasurable. If we have a good sati, you can remember those books, those Tipitakas also. Those three Pitakas that you can remember. If your sati is good. So if your sati is good, I think whatever you have learned long, many years ago, you can remember them. So it is very effective. So it is good to practice the sati, to develop the Sri Sambhojanga, starting from today. Okay. Now the next one is the Dhamma Vijaya Sambhojanga, according to the Hara Sutta commentary. So start with the ask, the questions. Pripochakata. So clean Vatu. So Vatu also I will explain. The body should be clean. So the body is also called the Vatu here. So the clothes related to the body is also called Vatu. The body should be clean. There, the robes, the beds also should be clean. That is called Vatu Visada Kiriya. The first one is Pripochakata. So Pripochakata means that we need to ask the questions to the ones who is well versed in the Tipitaka about what? Khanda. About the aggregates, about the elements, about ayatanas, about the samatha, about vipassana. We need to ask, we need to question the people who knows those khanda ayatana dhatu. So knowledge can be obtained only by the asking the questions. Even though we teach the students has no questions. They don't have any questions, they are not interested in. So in this way, they cannot develop their knowledge and their wisdom. So the first important thing to develop, to increase one's own knowledge is Pripochakata. So ask the questions. But here, what kind of questions should be asked about the science or about the trees or about the mountains, about the economics, about the business? No, it's not about that. So you have to ask the questions about khanda aggregates, dhatu, 18 dhatus, 12 ayatanas. You have to ask about the Meganga. You have to ask the Jnananga. You have to ask Samatha. You have to ask about Vipassana. So the question should be beneficial, should be connected to the benefits, beneficial for the present life, the beneficial for the future life, next life. Such a question should be asked. That is a Pripochakata. The second is Vatu Visada Kiriya. So Vatu also divided to internal and external. So internal means, it is to ourselves. So sometimes the monks have the long hair, his nails also very long, The body is, the dirty with some dust. In this way, our knowledge will not be developed. So knowledge also connected to the clean body, clean conditions. Like the clothes also should be cleaned. Not only the clothes and it should be cleaned, but also the monastery compound also should be clean. The monastery should be swept every day, like to pick up some dry leaves, make the ground to be clean, to be delightful. In this way, our mind becomes more and more clean and pure. So we can develop panya easily because of Vatu Visada. Our internal, ourself, the body, internal, Vatu. The robe and the monastery compound, wherever you live, wherever you wear, those things are external Vatus. These internal and external Vatus should be clean, and this is also one of the important things. So if you live like in a very dark place, when you go to enter your room is very dirty. How can our mind should be bright? How can our mind should be happy? We cannot be happy. Because of impurities, because of gloomy rooms, no light. So it is also, the cover with the cobwebs. We are very disappointed at seeing like this. The mind also becomes gloomier and gloomier. The knowledge cannot develop. So this also indicated by the commentators. So in the commentary also, so I will read the one or two sentences. The ijadika bahirana, Vatunam, Visita Bhava Karana. No, in the Sabasvasota commentary. Another commentary. Yadahisa Kesa Naka Loma ni. Kesa. Heya. Naka. Nail. No, okay. Loma is the hairs. Digani Hondi. So the hair is long. The nail is so long. Sriramwa Usana Dosenjiwa. Seda Mala Makitenja. The body also, we don't have the good exercise. The body becomes a tense. It is not flexible. So, like, we eat the unhealthy foods. Because of this, inside the stomach also many impurities. At the time, the ijadika watu awisada hori aprisota. At the time, internal watu is not clean, not purified. Yarabana jivaran jainam kilatan tokana hori. When the rope is very small, because he doesn't wash his, rope, maybe, for one rope, maybe he wear 7 days or, 15 days, usually, because the rope is also, especially in Myanmar, in the rainy season, it used to give us a very small, if you don't wash properly, maybe every 2 days or 3 days, the rope should be clean. The Jaina means, broken, decayed. The Sina Sananwa Ukalapa. Ukalapa means rubbish, like leaves, rubbish, the waste are full of in the monastery as soon as in the monastery. The Dabahira would always the Abrisodan. So Ida Samahi Ijadika Bahiri would tell me always a day. Open Nesu Jeda Jedesiki Nyanam be always a day, Abrisoda Hoti. Okay, now I will read again. Ida Samahi Ijadika Bahira would tell me. Ijadika Watu Bahira Watu is not clean. When internal, external Watus are not clean or impure, Obanesu Jedesikesu Nyanambi. So the Jedesika also actually depends on the body. Depends on because the body also depends on the monasteries, compounds, the dwelling place, the robes. So what the commentator means, everything connected to the body is also with the Vutu, because they are also the place of the Jeta and Jedesika. The Jeta and Jedesika not only depends on the body, but also this Jeta and Jedesika connected to the other external things like a rope, the monastery compound, bed, everything, whatever you use, those things are connected to the body. Well, because it is connected to the body, those are also called, according to this Vitu Visara Kiriya, those external things also called the place of Jeta and Jedesika. Do you understand what I mean? The Jeta Jedesikas depends on the body. The body depends on the where? In the chair, in the bed, in the dwelling place. So wherever you sit, wherever you lie down, those places are connected to your body. Because of this, the body is mainly the place, the location of Jeta and Jedesikas. The Jada Jitasika, where it is, like depends on body. Body also connected to what? This, robe, the clothes, like the chairs, the beds. So like a Sinasana also. These places are connected to the body. This body, this Sinasana, this rope, this bed, everything are called in this context Vuttu. Because the mind and mental properties that depends on them. So according to the commentary, the body and the other things are not clean. The jnana cannot rise. Your knowledge cannot rise. Because you are taking up, your body's impurities all the time. So because of this, the Buddha always said, like two Sinasana Buddhas, you see. Sinasana Buddha, what is Sinasana Buddha? Jandagara Buddha. Sinasana Buddha is very important for the monks. They have to do the service every day. So cleaning the ground, cleaning the body is important condition to get the knowledge. The body and the compound, the ground, the place where you live, at the time the knowledge cannot rise. So Vuttu Visara Kriya also very important. Now the next point is Indriya Samadha Patipada Patipadana. Patipadana. The Samadha is equality. Equality of the Indriyas, faculties. The Patipadana to bring about. Patipadana is bringing about the equality of faculties. So what is faculties? Saddha Indriya, Uriya Indriya. There are 5 Indriyas. Saddha Indriya, Uriya Indriya, Sattva Indriya, Samadhi Indriya, Panya Indriya. Okay, repeat after me. Saddha Indriya, Uriya Indriya, Sattva Indriya, Samadhi Indriya, Panya Indriya. Like this. Sattva Indriya you have to divide. Sati Indriya. Okay. These 5 Indriyas also included in the 37 Bodhipakkhiyas. Saddha Indriya, Uriya Indriya, Sattva Indriya, Samadhi Indriya, Panya Indriya. So these 5 Indriyas should be balanced. Balanced. So equality or maybe balancing. The balance of 5 Indriyas. So Saddha Indriya should not be too much. Uriya Indriya should not be too much. Samadhi Indriya should not be too much. Panya Indriya should not be too much. But Sattva Indriya is never too much. The Sattva Indriya may be less, but the Sattva Indriya never goes to the extremes. Sattva Indriya always it controls any other 5 Indriyas, 4 Indriyas. Except the Sattva Indriya, the other Indriyas too much, it is called imbalance of 5 Indriyas. So when the Sattva Indriya becomes so powerful, the other Indriyas will be weak. Similarly, Viriya Indriya, so like the other commentary, one of them is, when some people, they have very strong faith, for them, whatever they say, they easily believe them. So even if it is not suitable to worship or to believe, but they worship it. Whoever tells them, this is, he is Arahanta or she is Arahanta, for example, that they easily believe the certainty here. So because of this, sometimes they may lead to them wrong path. For the Pinyendriya, if someone is, Pinyendriya is too much, it is like, they may go to a kind of Kiratiya Pekha. So Kiratiya Pekha is a deceitful or hypocrite. Kiratiya Pekha. This is a lingua. Kiratiya means a deceitful. Deceitful is Kiratiya. They might go to the side of deceit. They might be very cunning when the Pinyendriya is too much. So because of this, some people say, just by offering in the mind, you can go to the celestial abode. So they believe according to their own conclusions, their ideas. In this way, they are born in the woeful state. They think offering comes from the mind. The Chetana is in the mind. So you just offer something by the mind, it's kusala. But when the dana is defined, okay, Chetana is an important factor. But at the same time, there is a dana vutu. Now, another thing is not only the dana vutu, giving up the dana vutu. So for example, I have rope, I want to offer the rope, okay? So at the moment, I really want to offer the rope. So at the moment, I have the Chetana, that Chetana is the Kusala Chetana. But for them, what he said, for the one who has too much penya, he said, no need to offer in the hand. No need to offer the rope, or no need to offer like a rope, or the dwelling place, or the money, whatever. The just offer in the mind is okay. What he said is. So he goes to the extremes, But for some people, normally we have very strong faith. We want to really offer. But we cannot offer at the moment. But for them, honestly, they have a good wish, a good Chetana. That later in the future, that Chetana may be shaped, maybe come into being, come true, as a real dana. This is honestly because nothing to have, to offer, nothing to, offer. For them, honest Chetana is a kusala Chetana, but not dana yet. So dana, we should have the Chetana and the vatu. Dana vatu. I mean, if you want to offer a rope, it's a dana vatu. If you want to offer the food is a dana vatu. Not only that, you give up, you offer by your hand to the one who receives it. So this is the factors of the danas. For those who are too much wisdom, penya, they, create some ideas. Okay, just to offer in the mind is okay because they have no faith. Their faith, their side is too weak. In this way, they are born in woeful state. So Saddha Penya also should be balanced. Saddha alone doesn't work, Penya alone doesn't work. So, without balance and Saddha Penya, we cannot attain the Nirvana, we cannot attain the Vipassana Jnanas, we cannot attain the jhanas also. The Saddha Penya should be balanced. Now the next one is Viriya and Samadhi. Some people have very strong concentration, but the Viriya is so weak. Usually they fall into the laziness. Kosecha becomes. Some people very strong Viriya effort, but their samadhi is very weak, and then they fall into Udhijja. So Udhijja means distraction. So because of too much samadhi, because of very weak viriya, Koseja arise. So Koseja and Udhijja. Koseja and Udhijja. So Udhijja arise because of too much viriya, very weak, too little samadhi. Udhijja arise. Because of too much samadhi, too little viriya, Koseja. What is the Koseja? Laziness. Laziness arise. So viriya and samadhi, viriya indriya, samadhi indriya should be balanced. So indriya samatata paripadana. So if we want to have very good wisdom, very powerful wisdom, if we want to increase our knowledge, our wisdom, we should balance indriyas, faculties. So how? Saddha indriya, viriya indriya should be balanced. Saddha indriya, panya indriya should be balanced. Viriya indriya, samadhi indriya should be balanced. Indriya samadha patipadana. Okay, now the time's up. We'll continue in the afternoon. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.